Hello friends, this is Dr. Kamlesh Sharma, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I am also working as a spoke local chapter for MOOC courses in Manavashna International Institute of Research and Studies. So today we are going to discuss on the topic natural language processing. So during this video we are going to cover about the introduction of natural language processing. We will discuss about the history, and then we will discuss the different component of NLP, and then we are going to discuss the role of NLP, and then we are going to discuss about different applications of NLP, and then we are going to discuss the job opportunities of the NLP. So NLP basically, as the name implies, natural language processing. Natural language processing means the language in which we can communicate with each other, and the processing means the computer or the processor try to understand that language and try to generate the sentences and phrases in the form of human, as the human being do. So we can say the natural language processing is a subfield of linguistic computer science, information engineering, and artificial intelligence, concerned with the interaction between the computer and human languages. So this is all about the computers, where the human can interact with the computer, and we think we are interacting with the human being. So this is the introduction part, where the computer play a human and try to understand the language which is spoken by the user. So how it comes into the existence, now we discuss the history of NLP. So NLP starts since 1950s by Alan Turing articles Machine and Intelligence, which is called Turing test in these days, where a man is replaced with the machine and test the accuracy of the machine in terms of human being, which is based on the NLP. After 1950s, in 1954, Noam Chomsky worked on the syntactic structure of the phrases and sentences and come out with the machine translation systems. There is another researcher or scientist, George Town, experimented on machine translation systems, where 16 sentences was converted from Russian language to the English language, and the vocabulary size is very limited. During 1950s to 1960s, there are a lot of researchers going in this area, and in 1960s to 1970s, lot of beneficial systems are released in the market. So there are few which I am going to discuss. So Shredlu is one of them, which worked for the robot to identify the blocks and place them with the command input. Here the number of commands are very limited. So as per the commands, as per the words in the dictionary, the command activate the robot to pick up the particular block and then place the block in a particular location. So this is about this Shredlu command based robot. The next system we are going to discuss about the ELIZA, which is a simulation tool for the psychotherapist. The psychotherapist worked on this, take the help of this tool, and the patient asks the questions to the system, and system on the basis of the query, on the basis of the questions of the user, it gives the answers to the patient. The next system that we are going to discuss is a Lunar, which is a system which developed which provide an interface to the database of moon rock samples. Here the command inputs is given to the system, and it, according to the speech signals, it show the rock samples on the screen. So this is all about the history, but in today's era we have a lot of application in the market which everybody are using. Like in these days we are using the Google speech assistant, we are using Siri's in iPhones, we are using many speech enabled automated tools around us. Like we are using speech enabled systems in cars, like MG Hector is a speech enabled command features. Similarly, we have same kind of features in Kia. So these are with these examples we can say we have a lot of scope in the market about the NLP. So Now let's discuss about the different component of the NLP. The NLP is basically divided into two components. One is the natural language understanding and another is the natural language generation. So in the natural language understanding, the system has to be understand the language and the meaning of that language. When the sentence is given to the system is try to check this syntax of the sentence. Is the sentence is grammatically correct or not? If the sentence is not, if the sentence is correct, then the system is try to identify the meaning of that particular sentence. So which is required a lot of time and knowledge. This part is discussing about the natural language understanding. In next part, we are going to discuss about the natural language generation. In the natural language generation, the different words are put together to form different phrases and sentences, so that we can get the complete information about particular topic or object. So if we compare the natural language understanding and natural language generation part, the natural language understanding is quite difficult because it requires a lot of knowledge and lot of time we require to understand the things. Like sometimes we are giving an example. I'm going a bank. So if this is the sentence, here the word bank itself have a multiple meaning. Like here the bank can be the financial bank where we can do the financial transaction, or bank could be a river bank. So such kind of problem has to be tackled during the understanding phases. So which become very difficult for the system to analyze such kind of issues and give the exact meaning. So with these things, we have to come up with different phases of NLP. So now let us discuss about the different phases of NLP. The first phase of the NLP is we have basically 5 phases of NLP. So first phase is the lexical analysis, second is the syntactic analysis, third is the semantic analysis, and fourth is the discourse, and fifth one is the pragmatic analysis. And the lexical analysis basically deal with the words. So here the lexical analysis identify the words which are given to the system. The system try to identify the exact words and the root word of the words and give the part of speech to the words. Like for example, if I am taking the word book, booking. So this is a word. If this word is given to the system is trying to identify the root word from this. Like in these 3 words, the book is the root word. So the syntactic, lexical analyzer try to identify the root word from there and identify the part of speech. Is the word is working as a noun, word is working as an adjective or verb. So this is the basic working of the syntactic analyzer. Next come to the that is the basic working of the lexical analyzer. Now let's discuss about the syntactic analyzer. So syntactic analyzer basically discuss about the structure of the sentence as per the language. If we are discussing about English language, in English language we use SVO form, subject, verb, object. If I'm giving any sentence to the system, so as per the grammatical rule which the system is trained, the system syntactic analyzer test all the sentences as per the grammatical rule. If the sentence is correct, then the analyzer on all the possible conditions, the analyzer analyze the structure of the sentences. Like if I am saying I college go, so if this sentence meant to the syntactical analyzer, it comes to the wrong sentences, because according to the English language, the sentence formation should be subject, verb and object. So I go college should be the correct sentence in that case. So this is the working of the syntactic analyzer. It deals with such kind of things. Next we come to the semantic analyzer. So semantic analyzer basically deal with the meaning of the sentences and come out with the exact meaning what the user want to communicate. Like if we take an example, I'm going to bank yesterday with my family. So here in this sentence, the sentence is having multiple meaning. So which bank this user is talking about? The user is talking about the financial bank, or user is talking about the river bank. So such kind of issues can be tackled by the semantic analyzer. Semantic analyzer analyze the meaning of the sentences. The next part is discourse analysis. Discourse analysis basically dealing the interrelations between the sentences. Like if we have the sentences, if we take the same example that we took in a semantic analysis, semantic analyzer or semantic analysis, I went to a bank yesterday with my family. Here we are not clear what the sentence is basically talking about. It is talking about the financial bank or it is talking about the river bank. So with the help of pre and post sentences, we can come to the conclusion. The user is talking about either the financial bank or either the river bank. So discourse analysis or discourse analyzer basically deal with this kind of situations. It identifies the interrelation between the sentences. The last phase of the NLP is the pragmatic analyzer. The pragmatic analyzer deals with the context of the sentences. Like if we have multiple sentences and all sentences are talking about the same context, then the pragmatic analyzer check the interrelation between the sentences. So basically we have these 5 phases of NLP. So now let comes how NLP help us to solve the real world problems. So you can find there are different kind of information are spreading all over the world on the internet. So we can say all over the world there are 6,500 languages are spoken, and from that 6,500 languages we have a lot of information in the form of text on the internet. And in that information on the internet, we have 20% data in the structured form, and the rest data is available in the form of tweets, doc, PDF, PPTs, speech, book, etc., which is highly unstructured. So this data can be used to solve many real world problems with the help of machine translation systems or statistical models, which helps to identify the knowledge inside that unstructured data.
A deep learning engineer
so
or
how
developer.
we can
You
use
can
this
go
machine
for a
translation
research
system
analyst. You can do your job
in different
in terms of
applications
your data
that we are going
analyst,
to
business
discuss.
analyst. You can go for a
So different
instructor,
applications
you can
of
become an instructor, you
NLP,
can go
we
for
have
a
like
research fellow.
sentiment analysis.
These are the
sentiment
various
analysis.
kind of jobs are there
In these days,
which you can opt.
if I quote an example, you find
now
lot
as to what are the various
lot
courses.
of
There
ad
are
posting
various
on your
courses
profile.
are there.
If you have a Facebook
you can
profile,
opt those courses.
so you have a lot
also.
of
you can
ad
do your
posting.
BTech in deep
So
learning.
you was not aware because we are not giving any
go for
preferences
the
of any
PhD
kind of
higher studies
advertising.
like PhD,
But there are a lot of
postdoc,
business intelligence
go for
behind
the
such
research
kind of
fellowship
information,
in deep learning.
such kind of data.
Now,
How
do
keep
you
the
skill
business people
yourself
keep on
in
track
deep
your
learning?
history, and
Suppose
on the
you
basis
are
of your
having
history they keep
a
on
degree,
posting.
or you are having
ads
the
as
some
per the
little bit
user
knowledge
preferences.
in mathematics or statistics.
So
then you can
on the
enhance
basis of your
skill
sentiment,
deep learning by yourself.
the
also.
users
What are the various ways to skill up
data.
their knowledge in deep
On the basis of
learning?
the user
There
data,
are
which
various
is
ways,
available on
like
the-
you can
on
go for the
Facebook,
online
WhatsApp,
certification courses.
social sites,
Do
and
the online certification
it
courses.
available in
You
the
get
reviews, in the
very
form of
good
reviews,
knowledge about deep learning,
in the-
various deep
on
learning
the internet.
techniques, algorithms. You can
the
do
business intelligence
some
people
kind of
fetch this information
projects
and
yourself.
analyze the sentiment
You
of the
can
people
take participate
and
in
do the
various
prediction for different kind of
hackathon and
business,
coding
like for the e-commerce
competitions.
business they
You
do
can
the
join
predictions.
any deep
And
learning, open
so,
source deep learning
sentiment
community,
analysis are very
and you
upcoming
can provide
field of
some
research
kind
that
of
people are doing a lot
projects.
of
You
research
can
and doing the
contribute through your
doing the analysis
projects.
of
You
the
can
sentiment with the
contribute
help
through
of
your
deep learning
codings,
parameters,
through your
neural
blogs,
network
your
techniques.
course, or your newsletters.
So next we are going
you
to
can
discuss
give
about
knowledge to other people.
chat box.
So
We
these
have,
are the basic
we
ways
have
how
automatic
you can
chat
develop
box in
your
these
skill.
days. Whenever you are
Suppose
filing
you
any
develop
queries
your
to
skill, or
e-commerce
you are a
site, you
skilled
automatically
person
get the
in
answers
deep
of these
learning,
questions.
then
This
the
is another
market
one
is
of best
open for you,
example
the
of
future is open for you,
and
and you can
natural
get a
language
very
processing.
good job with a
Next
very
we are
good
having
salary
machine
in
translation
this
system.
field. If you have any
have a lot of
queries
machine
regarding
translation
deep
system
learning,
in
you
these
can
days,
mail
which
it to
translate
my
a language
mail
from
ID.
one
My
language
mail
to
ID is
another language. Like for example, if I am a Hindi speaking people, I want to convert my sentence to the English or some Russian language. I can use the translators. Like for example, the most popular translator which everybody is using in these days is the Google Translator. And the Google Translator, we type the query and accordingly we can get the result in the target language. So this is one of the applications which is used by all over the world. The next is the speech recognition systems. We have a lot of speech recognition system around us. Like we have Siri, we have Google Speech Assistant, we have multiple features in the MG Hector and the Kia, and we have a lot of speech enabled machines. Like as I have discussed in the history, Sveddle is a system as a robot which take the speech input as a command and do the action accordingly. So we have a lot of scope in the speech recognition. The next we can discuss about the text summarization. Text summarization is another application of NLP where we can have the, different kind of text, and we can summarize the text as per the user requirement or as per the business requirement. One more application that I would like to discuss about the text classification. Like if we have the different kind of data from the internet, like if we download data from tweets, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, or we find the reviews of the politicians, so that can be categorized as per the categories. So that kind of things is called text classification. This is one of the most popular area with a lot of research is going on. The next application is the message translations. We can say text summarization, text categorization, document summarization. So we have a lot of areas where we can excel and we can do the research. So there is no limit of the applications. These are the few applications that I discussed in front of you. So there is unlimited applications where the speech technology can be used, or text analyzing or text technology can be used. Like one of the most popular applications that I would like to discuss about the business intelligence, where the business people collect the history data of the users or the tweets, and on the basis of that they do the posting. So this is one of the application which we are using. So this is all about the applications of the NLP. Now let's discuss about the job opportunities of the NLP. So after doing the course in NLP or after getting trained in NLP, natural language processing area, we have multiple job opportunities. So before going to the job opportunities, I suggest the student to do the review about some kind of machine translation systems and statistical models of AI, because there are a lot of models and statistical models which can help us to learn, which can help us to solve the natural language processing problems. So let's come to the job opportunities. So there are a lot of job opportunities in the market and they are highly in demand. Like we can say the data scientist in natural language processing. There is a lot of demands of data scientists in the market which analyze the data and do the predictions. So next we can discuss NLP developers. There are a lot of demands in the market about the NLP developer, natural language processing developers, natural language processing specialists, machine translation engineers, computational linguistics, NLP engineers, data engineers. So there is no limit of job opportunities in the market. We have a lot of job opportunities in the area of natural language processing, like natural language processing, data designers, natural language processing, software engineers in AI/NLP. So we have a lot of job opportunities in the market. So with all this, you can I hope you got the subject, what is basically NLP, and what are the different phases of the NLP, and what are the different applications and job opportunities in the area of NLP. So with all this, I just like to say thank you. And if you have any kind of query, you can write me on kamlesh.fpt@mriu.edu.in. With all this, once again, thank you so much. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.